From Reading Memorial High School in Reading, Mass., this is Lexington Blue Sox baseball on LSP. Today, it's game one of a doubleheader between the Blue Sox with a record of 16-7, first in the ICL, and the Reading Bulldogs, 10-7-1, sixth in the ICL. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Sam Feely, ready to bring you the play-by-play story. Raymundo, you're in my shot. Blue Sox, historically, since 2006, have been very good in doubleheaders. They've played 12 doubleheaders in the last 13 years. They've swept 10, split 1, and been swept once. 21-3 record in doubleheaders. They swept 7 consecutive doubleheaders from 2009 to 2012 before Reading swept them in a doubleheader at Endicott on July 7, 2013. And this is the first doubleheader for the Blue Sox in 3 years. Back on July 26, 2015, they took 2 from the then Somerville Thunder, 8-0 and 6-0 at Trum Field. And this is the fourth all-time doubleheader between Reading and Lexington. Blue Sox, with their win on Friday night, assured themselves of at least 5th place in the ICL standings, not just any playoff berth, but with win number 16, even if they lose out and Andre wins out, they will hold the tiebreaker over Andre for 5th in the ICL. So here's the starting lineup first for the visiting Lexington Blue Sox. The navy blue jerseys with Blue Sox across the front, red block letters, red numbers, and red sleeves. And the red and white PF3 cap in honor of Pete Frates. Josue Feliciano is going to lead it off in left field, followed by Justin Silvestro at third. Taylor Ferguson is in center. Dorian Rojas is at first. Julian Alvarez is in right. Dan Graham is the DH. Morgan Brown is at short. Thomas Russo is at second. And rounding out the lineup behind the plate is Gray Goolsby. On the mound for the Blue Sox is the left-hander Alcis Herrera. Herrera making his 4th appearance of the season, 1.11 ERA in 6 1/3 innings. He's allowed 4 hits, 1 earned run, 2 walks, and 7 strikeouts, making his first appearance against the Bulldogs this season. And for the Reading Bulldogs in the home white jerseys with the white and red cap and the black letters and numbers, Darren Hartwell is going to lead it off in center field, followed by Tyler Cedeno at short. Chris Bosco is behind the plate. Mike Taylor is at first. Kyle Brennan is in right. Steve Busby is the DH. Joey Hodap is in left. Shane Nowak is at third, and Johnny Hayes, the player manager, rounds out the lineup at second base. And on the mound for the Reading Bulldogs, you see the right-hander Kyle Woolman. Woolman making his 6th appearance of the season, 0-1 with 1 save, a 2.88 ERA. In 17 innings, he's allowed 18 hits, 10 runs, 7 of which are earned, walked 7, struck out 4, surrendered 2 home runs, hit 1 batter, thrown 3 wild pitches, and committed 1 balk. His first appearance of the season was against the Blue Sox, and the Blue Sox season opener went 3 innings, allowed 5 hits, 1 earned run, no walks, and 1 strikeout. That was, of course, a Bulldogs win, though Woolman did not get the decision. This is the 4th all-time doubleheader between Reading and Lexington. We mentioned the sweep by Reading on July 7, 2013. Blue Sox swept both of the previous 2 doubleheaders before that July 7, 2013 one. Swept them here at Morton Field 5-0 and 4-1 on May 26, 2011, and on July 29, 2012, 3-1 and 3-2. Blue Sox 6-1-1 in road doubleheaders. Here is Josue Feliciano getting the start in left field today. And the first pitch at 3:03 is upstairs for ball 1. We're underway. Josue was originally scheduled to start in right field today, but there was a late change to the line. There's also a second late change to the lineup that put Dorian Rojas in the lineup instead of Richie Burgos, as that one skips to the backstop, and it's 2-0 to Sway. Woolman with the slight windup and the pitch, and that runs inside 3-0. Sway batting .235 with 1 RBI and 1 double. He's taken all the way, and that's strike 1, and now we'll go to work. Feliciano, Silvestro, and Ferguson due up here in the top of the first for the Blue Sox. As that misses for ball 4 and a leadoff walk. So that'll bring up Justin Silvestro, the third baseman. Stroh batting .353 with 1 homer and 15 RBIs. Wallman looks at first, and now Silvestro is granted time. Wallman comes set. The pitch is at the knees for strike 1. That skips away from the catcher Bosco, and up to second goes Feliciano. He takes a turn at second, but will hold there on the wild pitch. So 1-1 with a runner in scoring position for Silvestro, the team leader in RBIs. He hits this one into shallow center, and that will get down for a base hit. Feliciano had to hold, and the throw is overthrown and out of play, and Feliciano will be awarded home plate. So that'll be a single and an error that allows Feliciano to score, no RBI. And that's in there for strike 1 to Taylor Ferguson. Ferguson, .352, 3 homers, 14 RBIs. He hits this one down the third base line, but it is a foul ball. Just outside the third base line, and that'll make it 0-2. Silvestro at second. 1-0 our score already here in the top of the first. And Ferguson takes ball 1. That was close, but it'll be 1-2. This is again smoked down the third base line and foul. One and two the count. Wallman comes set, and the pitch. This is lined down the third base line again and foul. Stay back on it just a little bit, and you probably got extra bases. The 1-2 again, popped up into foul territory down the first base line, and the catch is made down the first base line by the first baseman Taylor, and tagging and advancing to third is Silvestro. So one down with a runner at third, and that'll bring up Dorian Rojas. Dorian's been injured much of the year, but he's getting the start today. Making his 5th appearance of the season, 2 for 4 with a double and an RBI. And Dorian comes up empty for strike 1. See Dan Graham warming up right in front of us, as that's taken for ball one, 1-1. Silvestro at third. And the pitch. This is into center field, and that will be caught by the center fielder Hartwell. The throw to the plate will not nearly be in time. It'll be a sacrifice fly and an RBI for Rojas, and the Blue Sox extend their lead to 2-0. So here's Julian Alvarez, the right fielder, takes at the knees for strike one. Julian hits this one into left center field, and this will be caught by the center fielder Hartwell for the out that retires the side. Got under it a little bit too much. So 2 runs on 1 hit, 1 error, and nobody left. And after half an inning, it is the Blue Sox 2 and the Bulldogs coming up. This is Blue Sox baseball on LSP. Advertising opportunities are available on LSP. Get your company's message on air or on localsportsproductions.com for as little as $25 per ad. Visit localsportsproductions.com/advertising or email sam@localsportsproductions.com for more information. Alcis Herrera, the hard-throwing left-hander, to start the ball game for the Blue Sox on the mound. And his first assignment will be the veteran leadoff hitter, Darren Hartwell. Hartwell coming into play batting .386 with 2 triples and 6 RBIs. Also has 7 stolen bases. So it's imperative to keep him off the bases. There's a lot of good speed on this Reading team, including the catcher Bosco, who's due up third this inning. And that gets in there for strike one. Herrera working exclusively from the stretch. The pitch fouled off, and that'll make it 0-2. Herrera spent some time, of course, in the Cleveland Indians organization before returning to the Blue Sox this year. Check swing, and it's low for ball one. That misses inside, 2-2. Some good late break to it. Might have caught Goolsby off guard, too. Swing and a miss, strike three. Blew the fastball by him, and there's one down as Alces picks up his first strikeout. So that'll bring up Tyler Cedeno, the shortstop. Cedeno, 364 with 1 triple and 10 RBIs. And this is his first season with the Reading Bulldogs. Usually good enough numbers to get you consideration for Rookie Hitter of the Year, but when you look at the years that Ben Waldrop of the Chiefs and Dylan Coster of the Merchants are having. Though Coster's fallen off recently. He was batting close over 600, even over 700 at one point this year. Bobbled by Russo, but he fires on to first. Good recovery. And there are 2 down. So that'll bring up Chris Bosco, one of the best hitting catchers in the Intercity League, coming to play at 283, 1 double, 1 homer, 10 RBIs, and 6 stolen bases. He's tied with Cedeno in the team lead in the RBI department. All 3 batters at the top of this lineup can really run. Hartwell, Cedeno, and Bosco. This is lined up the middle and through for a base hit. He can hit, too. Bobbled in center field by Ferguson, but Bosco hangs on at first. So a little first pitch swinging action there. And that'll bring up Mike Taylor, the first baseman. Taylor coming into play, 433 with 6 RBIs. Now, these are the Reading Bulldogs, but in recent years, as that's in there for strike one, they have been playing the majority of their home games at Endicott College in Beverly. This marks the 4th and 5th of 6 games, 6 home games out of a possible 14 that the Reading Bulldogs will play in Reading, as that's low for ball 1. Of course, a lot of Endicott talent on this Bulldogs team as well. John Halsey with connections to Endicott, and there's even a Pete Frates Hall now at Endicott. Strike 2. Frates, of course, was a BC man, but he grew up in Beverly. And went to St. John's Prep in nearby Danvers, and the Bulldogs have Pete Frates 3 shirts, as that's on the outside corner for strike 3 called, and the inning is over. 2 strikeouts in the inning for Herrera, but as I was saying, the Bulldogs even have Pete Frates 3 warm-up shirts. So after 1 complete, Blue Sox 2, Bulldogs nothing. This is Blue Sox baseball on LSP. Want LSP to tape or broadcast your team's games? Rates start just $100 per game. Also ask LSP about streaming your next gaming tournament, wedding, concert, recital, school play, meeting, or other event. Visit localsportsproductions.com/services or email sam@localsportsproductions.com for more information. Top of the second, Blue Sox will send the 6, 7, and 8 hitters to the plate. Dan Graham, Morgan Brown, and Thomas Russo. 19 pitches, 12 for strikes in that first inning for Kyle Woolman. Ended up only allowing 1 hit, but 2 runs came across to score. Here's the OWH Dan Graham batting .313 with 1 RBI. Started off slow, but has started to string together some hits. 0-1 there. It's 4 for his last 9. One and 1 the count to Graham. That's at the knee, strike 2. Graham takes low, ball 2. You know, we mentioned the wildness, we alluded to the wildness of Woolman season, throwing 3 wild pitches, and as that's in there for strike 3, Graham doesn't like the call. And that'll be out number 1. But yeah, a walk, a wild pitch, allowed those 2 runs to get into scoring position in the first place, and they came around to score. So here's Morgan Brown, the shortstop, having a career year in his first season with the Blue Sox, and he takes upstairs ball 1. Brown, 400 average with 5 RBIs. Takes at the knee, strike 1. I think that's the spot where the pitchers are going to have to live there, right at the hollow of the knee. Batter's having a hard time pulling the trigger at those pitches right now, as Brown fouls that one off, and it's 1-2. Gotta love all the Blue Sox players lined up on the face of the dugout, intent on watching this game, supporting their boys as they continue this 10-game and 13-day stretch. A stretch in which they are 4-1 thus far, with the only loss coming last Sunday night at Watertown, as that's in there for strike 3, and Brown not happy with that call either. But that is back-to-back called third strikes for Woolman, and that'll bring up Thomas Russo. Russo, 290, 4 doubles, 8 RBIs. The Blue Sox here are going to have to start setting their sights a little lower to try and get in this one, get some more hits. It's ball 1-0. That's low, 2-0. Woolman winds and delivers. Taken all the way for strike 1 by Russo. Three and 1. We talk about how the Blue Sox played 12 doubleheaders since 2006. Eight of those doubleheaders have come against teams that no longer exist. This is grounded to the second baseman, Hayes, on to first. More on that thought in a little bit. After 1.5, it is still the Blue Sox 2 and the Bulldogs nothing. This is Blue Sox baseball on LSP. You can follow LSP on the web at localsportsproductions.com, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Patreon LSP37, Snapchat LSP Media, and subscribe to the LSP YouTube channel. 5, 6, and 7 due up for the Bulldogs here on the bottom of the second. Kyle Brennan, Steve Busby, and Joey Hodap. Brennan, the right fielder. 275 hitter with 7 RBIs, 1 homer, and that hit him. So the first pitch of the bottom of the second puts Brennan aboard. 12 pitches in the first inning, 9 for strikes for Alcis Herrera. And that'll bring up the veteran Steve Busby, the designated hitter. Busby with the bow-legged stance there, and the pitch is in there for strike 1. Doesn't like the strike call. But that's where Wallman was pitching. That's where Alcis can live too. Buzzbang 333 with 3 RBIs. It's only his 3rd game of the season. 2 for 6. And he chops this one to Rojas. He'll throw on to second, and they got him. So it's kind of an unorthodox 3-4 double play. And just like that, 2 down with the bases empty. So let's see if Joey Hodap can keep the line moving. Good play by Dorian. Ball 1 to Hodap. Batting 271 with 4 RBIs. He lines this one up the middle and through for a base hit. So just like that, another base runner for the Bulldogs. They'll keep the inning alive. And it'll be up to Shane Nowak, the 3rd baseman. Nowak playing his 6th game. And a throw over to first. Nowak 488 with 1 double and 3 RBIs in limited action this year. And Nowak holds up, but it's strike 1 anyway. Sidearm throw to first by Alcis, and back safely is Hodap. Hodap, 1 stolen base this year. Runner goes, the pitch is swung on, missed, throw down to second. Oh, what a seed by Gray Goolsby. They got him, and the inning is over. So after 2 complete, it is still the Blue Sox 2 and the Bulldogs nothing. This is Blue Sox baseball on LSP. You can follow the Blue Sox on the web at LexingtonBlueSox.com, Facebook.com/LexingtonBlueSox, and on Twitter and Instagram at BlueSox_ICL. Nine, 1, and 2 due up for the Blue Sox here in the top of the third. Gray Goolsby, Josue Feliciano, and Justin Silvestro. Kind of a weird line when you look at it for the two teams through 2 innings. For the Blue Sox, 2 runs, 1 hit, no errors, and nobody left. And for the Bulldogs, no runs, 2 hits, 1 error, and 1 left. Wallman delivers to Goolsby, and that's low for ball 1. Goolsby takes strike 1 to even the count. Goolsby bagging even 200, grounds this one to the third baseman on to first. High throw, but it's in time as Nowak makes the play. Quickly 1 down. Six in a row retired by Wallman as the lineup turns over for Josue Feliciano. Sway drew a 5-pitch walk, advanced to second on a wild pitch, and scored on an error his first time up in the first. And he takes strike 1. He's going to try and bunt his way on. And he held up, so it's ball 1. 1-1 the count to Sway. Swing and a miss. 1-2 to Sway. Justin Silvestro on deck. And a swing and a miss. Sway not happy with that swing. Third strikeout for Wallman. 7 in a row retired after. No, I misspoke. That's actually 8 in a row retired. He had the first 2 batters to reach and has retired 8 in a row. Now here's Justin Silvestro, singled and scored in the first. And he takes low for ball 1 as it popped out of the mitt of Bosco. That's low for ball 2, 2-0. Wallman with the wind and the pitch. Low for ball 3. I think Wallman's trying to hit that spot at the knees that he's been getting the calls on earlier, but he's missing a little too low this time. And he misses low again for a 4-pitch walk to Silvestro. So that snaps the 8 straight retired streak. And let's see what Taylor Ferguson can do. Ferguson popped up to the first baseman, Taylor, in foul territory, but it was out of the way enough that Silvestro managed to advance to third, throw over to first, And they might have had him if the ball hadn't been bobbled by Taylor. And just returning it to the pitcher is an adventure for Taylor. That's low for ball one. 5 straight balls now by Woolman after retiring 8 straight batters. Ferguson takes low, ball 2. Ferguson fouled off a bunch of pitches down the third base line, was early on a few of these. They were hard-hit balls but couldn't straighten them out, then ended up with the pop-up into foul territory. This one he takes, 2-1. It's in the same spot that he's been hitting all night, all day I should say, right at the knees. And the 2-1 to Ferguson is low for ball 3. Dorian Rojas on deck. Silvestro getting a lead at first. And the pitch, low for ball 4, back-to-back walks. So 2 walks on 9 pitches for Woolman with 2 outs. Here comes Steve Busby to have a word with Woolman and Bosco. So Silvestro at second, Ferguson at first, and Rojas, who has the lone RBI of this game on that sacrifice fly that plated Silvestro. And he takes strike 1. Big spot here for the Blue Sox. Try to extend their lead. And Dorian takes low, ball 1, 1-1. Just only 1 hit in the ball game for the Blue Sox, alongside 3 walks. Time is called at the very last minute by Rojas. Would have been a ball if he hadn't gotten time, so maybe a break there for Woolman. 1-1 the count. Runners not being held. The pitch is low. It's blocked by Bosco. No advance by the runners. And it's 2-1. First and second, 2 out. The pitch taken for strike 2. 2-2. Blue Sox hoping to break through here. Dorian looking for a hit. Maybe another RBI. And the pitch. Outside. Ball 3, so both runners will be in motion with this pitch. 331 down the left field line here for the right-handed hitting Rojas. The payoff pitch, here it is. Chopped down the third base line, but foul. Not sure if Nowak would have had him. As it stands, it'll be the 7th pitch of the at-bat coming up to Rojas. Back-to-back walks with 2 outs, snapped a streak of 8 straight retired by Woolman. Now Rojas looking to capitalize. with a big hit here, with the runners going to be in motion. The 3-2. This is lined into right center field, and this will be past the diving Hartwell. 1 run scores. Here comes another. It's a 2-run single for Dorian Rojas, and it is 4-0. That was Hartwell's only chance to make a play to try and dive and catch it, but he didn't get it. And Dorian picks up 2 more RBIs. He's got 3 on the game. And the Blue Sox lead 4-0. Now here's Julian Alvarez, who pops this one up. And stepping backwards to make the catch is Hayes. For the out that retires the side, but the Blue Sox get 2 runs, again on just 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left. And after 2.5, it is the Blue Sox 4 and the Bulldogs nothing. This is Blue Sox baseball on LSP. The LSP store is now open. Get yourself a DVD copy of this or any past LSP video broadcast or one of several different designs of bumper stickers. Visit localsportsproductions.com/store or the LSP Facebook page after the game to place your order. And remember, all orders within the continental United States come with free shipping. Nowak, Hayes, and Hartwell, the 8, 9, and 1 hitters, due up for the Bulldogs here in the bottom of the 3rd. Nowak, of course, was at bat when Joey Hotup was caught stealing to end the bottom of the 2nd. Herrera just needed 7 pitches to get through that bottom of the 2nd. He's thrown 19 through the first 2. And here's pitch number 20. Misses for ball 1. High for ball 2. Three and 0. First 3-ball count of the game for Alces. Johnny Hayes on deck, the number 9 hitter. That's in there for strike 1. Swing and a miss. You know, when you got arms like Herrera and Del Carmen on your pitching staff, it's one of those situations where, like, you have to have time called here as a ball from the bullpen came onto the field of play. Thanks, Dorian. The 3-2 fouled off. So Dorian's going to match his pitch count from the second inning in just this one at-bat. Yeah, it's like when you have guys who throws, or some of the hardest throwers in the ICL like Herrera and Del Carmen, I think you can just trust your fastball to get it by most hitters in this league, right? 3-2. Swing and a miss, strike three, and that's exactly what he did there. Picks up his third strikeout, and there's one down. So that'll bring up Johnny Hayes, the second baseman. Hayes in at 233 with 4 RBIs. Got a couple of player coaches in the lineup tonight. Hayes and Busby, who's the DH, but is in the third base coach's box right now. And Hayes pops this one up into shallow right. Russo makes the catch, 2 down. So after a 7-pitch battle to lead off the inning, a 1-pitch pop-out, and the lineup turns over for Darren Hartwell, who struck out swinging to begin the bottom of the first. And Hartwell fouls this one off for strike one. Herrera delivers. He's going to try and bunt his way on, but he offered at it, and it's 0-2. Herrera, product of the University of Science and Arts at Oklahoma. NAIA school, played the NAIA World Series before joining the Blue Sox. The 0-2. Taken all the way for strike three called, and the inning is over. 2 strikeouts in the inning, 4 on the game for Alcice. And after 3 complete, it is still the Blue Sox 4 and the Bulldogs nothing. This is Blue Sox baseball on LSP. Stay tuned right after this game for Game 2 of our Blue Sox baseball doubleheader as the Blue Sox take on the Reading Bulldogs. Watch the game live at localsportsproductions.com/live, and stream the game the next day at localsportsproductions.com/on-demand, or on the LSP YouTube channel, or buy a DVD of the game at the LSP store. Top of the fourth, Dan Graham to lead things off as he takes ball one. Graham struck out looking his first time up in the second. 4 runs, 2 hits, no errors, 1 left for the Blue Sox. That's efficiency. No runs, 2 hits, 1 error, and 1 left for the Bulldogs. 2-0 the count to Grammer. I was talking earlier about how of the 12 Blue Sox doubleheaders since 2006, as that's fouled off 2-1. 8 of them are against teams that no longer exist. As Graham smokes this one into center field, but camping under it is Hartwell for out number one. It's been an adventure out there in center field for Hartwell today. So 1 up, 1 down for Brown. Morgan Brown struck out looking his first time up in the second as well. Blue Sox have swept 3 doubleheaders against the Mooney Dental Tanners, 2 doubleheaders against the Arlington Trojans, and former Arlington Trojan Morgan Brown drives this deep to left field. It's off the glove of the left fielder, Hodap. Brown's on his way to second. He will hold there with a double. So Morgan Brown picks up his first base hit of the day. A 1-out double. So 2-0 versus the Arlington Trojans, 1-0 against the Gately A's, 1-0 against the Testacourt Bombers, and 1-0 against the Somerville Thunder. That's the doubleheader profile for the Blue Sox. Now Thomas Russo. And Russo grounds this one up the middle, and it is knocked off the shortstop's glove, and everybody's safe. That'll be an infield single. Makes it first and third. 1 out. Couple of first pitch swinging hits here for the Blue Sox. And here's the number 9 hitter, Gray Goolsby. Goolsby grounded out to third his first time up in the third. And he's got a chance to extend the Blue Sox lead further here if he can at least get one deep into the outfield. Ball 1 in the dirt. And that's a strike, okay. 1-1. Didn't think the strike zone went that far down. 1-1 the count to Goolsby. That's down and in, 2-1. Brown at third, Russo at first. 1 down here in the top of the fourth. And that was just barely fouled off by Goolsby. 2-2 with Josue Feliciano on deck. The 2-2, taken for strike 3. Goolsby doesn't like the call, but that did look good. So that's the 4th strikeout for Woolman. And it'll be up to Josue Feliciano. 0 for 1 with a walk and a run scored. Struck out swinging his last time up. Bosco calling out signs to the defense. Let's see what Sway can do. Sway went around there, and it's 0-1. Blue Sox doubling their hit output here in the inning. The pitch is a strike. Throw down to second is into center field, and Brown is going to walk home on the error. So runner at second, 2 down. 0-2 the count to Sway, and he takes ball 1. This is grounded to the left side, knocked down by the third baseman. Throw over to first in time, and the side is retired as Nowak makes another fine diving play. Blue Sox get 1 run on 2 hits, 1 error, and leave 1. After 3.5, we're halfway home. It is the Blue Sox 5 and the Bulldogs nothing. This is Blue Sox baseball on LSP. Advertising opportunities are available on LSP. Get your company's message on air or on localsportsproductions.com for as little as $25 per ad. Visit localsportsproductions.com/advertising or email sam@localsportsproductions.com for more information. Two, 3, and 4 due up for the Bulldogs here in the bottom of the 4th. Tyler Cedeno, Chris Bosco, and Mike Taylor. Cedeno grounded out to second his first time up in the 1st. Exactly 30 pitches through 3 innings for Alcides Herrera. And Cedeno wants to bunt his way on it. He went around, so that's strike 1. Cedeno takes strike 2. No runs, 2 hits, 2 errors, 1 left for the Bulldogs. 5 runs, 4 hits, no errors, and 2 left for the Blue Sox. That's fouled off, and it remains 0-2. So the theme for the Blue Sox today, at least in this first game, has been efficiency. Herrera's been very efficient with his pitch count. Blue Sox have been very efficient bringing runners home. They got a 5-0 lead halfway through this first game of a doubleheader. Just going to have a stoppage of play as Cedeno stepped out, but we were also waiting for Steve Busby to get in the first base coach's box. The 0-2. Chopped right back to Herrera. He'll flip on to first. The rainbow toss. Out number 1. So Cedeneo's grounded out for the second time, and that brings up Chris Bosco, who had the first Bulldogs hit back in the bottom of the 1st. He's 1 for 1. Bosco's got the speed to lay one down here, try and spark a rally. Silvestro playing behind the bag right now at third, as that misses high for ball 1. That's fouled off. 1-1. When he was with the Blue Sox, Herrera would usually work with no runners on from the full windup, and he would start with his glove and the ball at his hips, and then he went to the Indians and they worked on his mechanics, and here he is with the ball at his shoulders when he comes set, and he works exclusively from the stretch, as that is in there for strike 2, 1-2. Left-hander Herrera against the right-hander Bosco. And the pitch. This is skied into right field. Alvarez towards the line. Makes the catch. Looked like he dropped it for a second, but he did not. He nearly had a disaster in last night's ball game with a dropped fly out in right that nearly coughed up the game for the Blue Sox, but that ended up just tying the game, did the Americans, and the Blue Sox held on for the 4-2 win. That was on Friday night. So here's Mike Taylor, the first baseman, struck out looking his first time up to end the first. And Taylor takes all the way for strike 1. This is chopped foul at the dish, and that'll make it 0-2. "31 strikes compared to just 9 balls through the first 40 pitches of the game for Herrera. It's over a 75% strike percentage. Just missed outside. 1-2. Goolsby pointing to Herrera saying good spot. But not good enough there. Still one more pitch at least coming to Taylor. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Herrera sets him down in order. He's retired 6 in a row. And he's got 5 Ks. And after 4 complete, Blue Sox 5, Bulldogs nothing. This is Blue Sox baseball on LSP. Want LSP to tape or broadcast your team's games? Rates start just $100 per game. Also ask LSP about streaming your next gaming tournament, wedding, concert, recital, school play, meeting, or other event. Visit localsportsproductions.com/services or email sam@localsportsproductions.com for more information. New pitcher for the Reading Bulldogs is Mike Raynone, making just his 3rd appearance of the season, first since July 9th. 1 2/3 innings. He's allowed 5 hits, 4 runs, 4 earned runs, 3 walks, and just 1 strikeout. It's good for an ERA of 16.77. And here he is with his team already down 5, with the 2, 3, and 4 hitters due up. First pitch to Justin Silvestro is fouled off for strike 1. That's low for ball 1 to even the count. Stroh takes strike 2. Not happy with the call. Stroh 1 for 1 with a single, a walk, and 2 runs scored. So that misses for ball 2. Raynone peering in for the sign. And now he winds and delivers. This is ground to the right side, fielded by the second baseman Hayes, on to first. 1 down. So 1 up, 1 down for Taylor Ferguson. He's 0 for 1 with a walk and a run scored. Mrs. Wojtik, I appreciate the thing about my lens. I'll fix that as soon as I can. This is skied into right field. And catch is made by Brennan for out number 2. So that'll bring up Dorian Rojas. Rojas 1 for 1 with 3 RBIs. That skips to the plate, and it's 2-0. Dorian takes ball 3, 3-0. That gets in there for strike 1, 3-1. That's in there for strike 2. Dorian pitched the bat, and I was going to have to come back, and this is why you never show up the umpire. Full count pitch coming up to Dorian Rojas with Dan Graham on deck. And that's low for ball 4. Now you can go down to first, D. I misspoke. Julian Alvarez on deck, of course, not Dan Graham. Dan was standing in front of the camera. So Nate Wolf is going to pinch run for Dorian Rojas, and Dorian finishes a productive day. Here's King Julian. Julian 0 for 2 as he takes strike 1. Was really amped up his last time up after Dorian came through with a 2-run single. And wanted to crush one and bring Dorian home, but instead popped up to the second baseman. And he pops this one up as well. Towards the right field line, and just holding on to it is the second baseman, Hayes, for the out that retires the side. So after 4.5, it is still the Blue Sox 5 and the Bulldogs nothing. This is Blue Sox baseball on LSP. That's as good as I can get it for right now, Mrs. Wojcik. One and one the count to the right fielder, Kyle Brennan, who was hit by a pitch his first time up in the second. Swing and a miss at a pitch that Goolsby didn't even hang on to, and it's 1-2. That's low for ball 2, 2-2. Brennan and Steve Busby and Joey Hodapp due up. This is grounded down the first base line. It'll be fielded by the newly entered Nate Wolf, and he'll step on the first base bag for the out. That'll bring up Steve Busby, grounded into a 3-4 double play his first time up, and he takes strike one. Busby with the wide-legged stance there. As that runs in on him, and it's 1-1. Pitch number 50 upcoming for Alcis. Runs inside and skips to the backstop and nearly hits him. 2-1. Don't know what's gotten into Alcis here this at-bat. Two and one the count to the veteran Busby. Not to be confused with the Texas Rangers broadcaster. He chops this one down the first baseline, foul, and that'll make it 2-2. Busby taking a minute to step out and regroup. Down 2-2, even in the count 2-2 with some action behind Alcice in the Blue Sox bullpen. He pitched to Buzz. Way out in front of that one. And it's strike 3. Could you tell he was expecting a fastball there? Got a sick changeup. 2 up, 2 down for Joey Hadab, who had the last Bulldogs hit back in the second, but then was thrown out trying to steal second. Hadab 1 for 1. And the pitch jackknifes him a bit, and it's 1-1. Outside, 2-0. Sun's been fading in and out behind the clouds today as for the second time today, Herrera goes to a 3-ball count. Last time was in the third when he fell behind Shane Nowak 3-0, but came back to strike him out. What will he do here to Hadap? He'll get back in the count at 3-1. And that's outside for ball 4. So that ends a streak of 8 straight retired by Alcice. First walk of the game issued by Herrera. That'll bring up Shane Nowak. And that's in there for strike 1 to Nowak. Blue Sox got 2 in the first, 2 in the third, and 1 in the fourth. 3 RBIs today by Dorian Rojas, who exited the game after drawing a walk. Got pinch ran for by Nate Wolf, who's now holding on the runner at first. That's upstairs for ball 1. Dorian, limited action this year due to injury, but having his best game of the year today. 1 for 1, a single, a walk, a sac fly, and 3 RBIs. 2-1. In fact, Dorian has all 3 RBIs this game. The other 2 runs scored on errors with no RBI credit. This is into left field for a base hit. So back-to-back 2-out base runners for the Bulldogs. That's going to bring Matt Karras out to the mound for a visit. case I didn't mention it already, you can follow LSP on the web at localsportsproductions.com, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Patreon, LSP37, Snapchat, LSP Media, and subscribe to the LSP YouTube channel. As that misses for ball one to Johnny Hayes. Well, I think the Reading pitchers might have been getting that call. I don't know. 1-0 the count to Hayes, who popped up to second his first time up in the third. Toughest spot of the day for Herrera. First and second, 2 out. That misses, 2-0. No runs, 3 hits, 2 errors, 1 left for the Bulldogs. 5 runs, 4 hits, no errors, and 3 left for the Blue Sox. The 2-0 to Hayes. Grounder to the left side. It's fielded by Silvestro, and he'll step on the third base bag himself for the out that retires the side. So nothing comes of that mini 2-out rally, and after 5 complete, it is still the Blue Sox 5 and the Bulldogs nothing. This is Blue Sox baseball on LSP. You can follow the Blue Sox on the web at LexingtonBlueSox.com, Facebook, Twitter, Facebook.com/LexingtonBlueSox, and on Twitter and Instagram at BlueSox_ICL. Dan Graham will lead things off here in the top of the 6th for the Blue Sox. Grammer's 0 for 2, and he hits this one into right field, and that will get down for a base hit, and now Grammer's 1 for 3. So first pitch swinging sounded like he broke his bat too, but he is aboard for the first time today. Then I'll bring up Morgan Brown. Had a double and came around to score in the 4th. And he grounds this one. Great diving stop by Nowak, but it gets away from him, and the throw to first will be held on to. So it's an infield single for Brown. So back-to-back hits on back-to-back pitches to begin the 6th as the Blue Sox look to blow this one open and maybe put it to bed. Here's Thomas Russo, singled and stole a base in the 4th, and on that stolen base, an error by Bosco allowed Brown to score the last Blue Sox run. Raynone out there for his second inning of work. The bunt is down. Here comes the third baseman, Nowak, and he can't get the throw off, so the bases are loaded. All this on the 3 consecutive pitches. So here's a spot for Greg Goolsby. Bases loaded, nobody out. Full windup and the pitch by Raynone. Strike one. Ball one. Goolsby 0 for 2, grounded out to third in the third, struck out looking in the fourth. That's low for ball two. That misses. 3-1. Nowhere to put Goolsby. And the leadoff hitter, Josue Feliciano, on deck. Popped up, fouling out of play. Full count. Payoff pitch to Goolsby. Here it is. That's low for ball four. It's a bases loaded walk. Goolsby picks up the RBI. Graham scores, and it's 6-0. Goolsby picks up his 4th RBI of the season. Lineup turns over for Sway as he takes low, ball one. Sway drew a walk and scored in the first. Since then, he struck out swinging and grounded out to third. Low for ball two. Trying to see if there's anyone warming for the Bulldogs right now as Bosco's coming out to have a word with Raynone. Just a pat on the shoulder saying, "You got this." Two and 0 to Feliciano. Taken for strike one. Feliciano not happy with that call. Rick D'Angelo saying for the third base coach, "Don't worry about it. It's not your pitch." 2-1. Takes ball three. Sway pops this one foul, and once again a full count with the bases loaded. Sway hits this one into left center field. This should be deep enough for a tag by Brown. It's caught by the center fielder, Hartwell. In comes Brown. It's a sacrifice fly and an RBI, and the Blue Sox lead 7-0. So now Raynone one pitch away from getting out of this. If he can get Silvestro to roll one over, as that's in there for strike one. Sway picks up the RBI. Stroh 1 for 2 with a single, a walk, and 2 runs scored. He hits this one into center field. That gets down for a base hit. And being held at third is Russo initially. Now he's being waved around as the play was bobbled in center field. Again, it's been an adventure in center field for Hartwell, as it is now 8-0. Not sure if Silvestro's going to get credit for an RBI there, because Russo stopped at third, but then came home after the error, after the bobble in center field. We'll get a ruling on that from Bruce in a little bit. But first and third, still one out for Taylor Ferguson. Pitch is in the dirt, no advance by the runners, and it's ball one. Ferguson 0 for 2 with a walk. Now we're going to have a pinch runner at first. And John Barry is going to pinch run for Justin Silvestro. That's in there for strike one to even the count. Throw over to first, and Barry is back safely. Cloud cover starts to increase here at Morton Field. 1-1 the count to Ferguson. He pops this one up. Taylor, the first baseman, coming in. And he drops the ball. And everybody will be safe. So that reloads the bases. And that'll mean the first at-bat of the ball game for Nate Wolf. Wolf pinch ran for Rojas after Rojas walked in the fifth. Wolf takes strike one. Wolf 296, 1 homer, 5 RBIs. The eighth man to bat in the inning. He chops this one down the first base line. It's foul. So that makes it 0-2. Goolsby at third, Barry at second, Ferguson at first. Here in an 8-0 ball game, 3 runs home in the inning. This is grounded up the middle, could be 2. To Hayes for 1, on to first, an inning-ending 6-4-3 double play. But the Blue Sox get 3 runs on 4 hits, 1 error, and leave 2. After 5.5, it is the Blue Sox 8 and the Bulldogs nothing. This is Blue Sox baseball on LSP. The LSP store is now open. Get yourself a DVD copy of this or any past LSP video broadcast, or one of several different designs of bumper stickers. Visit localsportsproductions.com/store or the LSP Facebook page after the game to place your order. And remember, all orders within the continental United States come with free shipping. New pitcher for the Blue Sox is Nick Godfroy, as he takes over as part of a couple of changes for the Blue Sox. First pitch to Darren Hartwell is fouled off for strike one. Hartwell's 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. It was a hit and an RBI for Silvestro, so he picks up his team-high 16th RBI. And Hartwell hits this one into shallow center field, shallow left center, and Feliciano comes on to make the catch. So that'll bring up Tyler Sedano, the shortstop, 0 for 2 with 2 groundouts. Godfroy making his 7th appearance of the season, 2-2 with a .68 ERA. In 10 1/3 innings, he's allowed 6 hits, as this is smoked into right center field, and this will be a leaping catch by Taylor Ferguson. Wow! 2 down. That was almost hit number 7 allowed by Godfroy, but great extension and athleticism by Ferg. So that'll bring up Chris Bosco, 2 outs on 3 pitches here, not unlike what we saw from Alcis today. And actually I have a pinch hitter for Bosco, it appears. I'm going to save him for game 2. And that's in there for strike 1. This is Luke Hall pinch hitting for Bosco. And Hall takes strike 2. Hall, 1 hit and 18 at-bats with 2 RBIs this season. And that's fouled off and out of play. But finishing Godfroy's line on the season, 2-2, 10 1/3 innings, .68 ERA, 6 hits, 2 runs, 1 of which is earned, walked 5, struck out 13, popped up on the infield, and it's going to be Brown making the catch for the out that retires the side. So 1-2-3 inning for Nick Godfroy, and after 6 complete, still Blue Sox 8, Bulldogs nothing. This is Blue Sox baseball on LSP. Here's Brandon Malarkey, the left-hander, making his first appearance of the season for the Bulldogs, and Andrew Salima will lead things off, pinch hitting for Julian Alvarez. And he takes strike one. Good pitch there, and it's strike two. Salima batting .261 with 3 doubles, 1 triple, and 6 RBIs this season. And he grounds this one foul. Still 0-2. Skied into foul territory on the left side, and coming in to make the catch is the shortstop Cedeno for out number 1. Dominic Zaire fouls this one off, and the count will be 1-1. Zaire grounds this one to the left side, fielded by the third baseman Nowak, on to first, 2 down. Morgan Brown will make his 4th plate appearance of the afternoon rather. He's 2 for 3 with a single, a double, and 2 runs scored. Looks like the Blue Sox are going to take game 1 of this doubleheader as Brown pops this one up. Taylor behind first base makes the catch for the out that retires the side. We go to the bottom of the 7th, closing time for the Blue Sox. Blue Sox 8, Bulldogs nothing. This is Blue Sox baseball on LSP. First pitch to Mike Taylor of the bottom of the 7th is a strike, 0-1. Taylor is 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. Nick Godfrey out there for his 2nd inning of work. And he skies this one into right center field. Salima going out, and it'll be the center fielder making the catch for the first out of the inning. There's one other game going on right now in the Intercity League, but there will be Another game starting around the time our next game starts. Andre's playing Wakefield right now at Walsh Field in Wakefield. And once the second game of this doubleheader gets underway, the game one of a doubleheader between the Royals and the Reds will get underway. As this is hit into shallow right center field, and it'll be another catch for out number 2. So quickly, the Bulldogs down to their final out of game one of this doubleheader. Zach Tallis will pinch hit here for Steve Busby. Busby finishes his day 0 for 2. Finishes game one anyways 0 for 2. Godfrey comes set. And the pitch is upstairs for ball 1. That misses, ball 2. Tallis entering play today at 279 with 9 RBIs. He takes ball 3. Joey Huddap, the left fielder, on deck. And it's swung on and missed, 3-1. And now Godfrey's back in the count. Got Nate Wolf at first base, C.J. McKinnon over at third, John Berry at second, Andrew Salima in right. Morgan Brown still at short. It's fouled straight back, and now the Bulldogs down to their final strike of game one. Today's results, no matter how they go, won't impact the Blue Sox playoff seeding very much. That's low for ball 4, and Tallis works a 2-out walk. I'll bring up Joey Huddap, who's 1 for 1 with a single and a walk. Because the Blue Sox win both games of this doubleheader. Well, if Watertown loses both games to Somerville, as that's fouled off for strike 1, then the Blue Sox, we'll have to see what the tiebreaker is between two teams that split the season series. Check that, because the Blue Sox would have 18 wins and the Reds would have 10 losses if Watertown were to lose both games tonight to Somerville and Lexington were to win both games today. 0-2 the count to Joey Huddap. Last strike for the Bulldogs. And the pitch. Lined into center field, and that will be caught on the run for the out. And that's your ball game. In a game that took 1 hour and 47 minutes, the winning pitcher is Alcis Herrera. And Herrera improves to 1-0. The losing pitcher is Kyle Woolman. Woolman falls to 0-2. No save. The final totals for the Blue Sox, who improved to 17-7, first in the ICL. 8 runs, 8 hits, no errors, and 5 left. And for the Reading Bulldogs, fall to 10-8-1. No runs, 3 hits, 3 errors, and 4 left. Our players of the game are Alcis Herrera and Nick Godfrey, combining on the 3-hit shutout, and Dorian Rojas, who was 1 for 1 with a single, a walk, a sac fly, and 3 RBIs. So the Blue Sox continue their dominance in doubleheaders. And let's see what they've got in store for us in the second game of this doubleheader, which will come up. And, well, it looks like we're going to have a pizza break. Okay. So we'll take a timeout, and we'll be back with the second game of our doubleheader between the Blue Sox and the Reading Bulldogs. Give us about half an hour, folks, and we'll be back. Thanks for tuning in, as usual.